just right. Guess what? I and the dolls went to New Orleans. Yes, we did. And they have had a ceremony earlier. That's why I'm having a little bit of red wine, a little bit for me, and a little bit for the spirit. So, y'all, pardon the glass. The glass is a little bit dirty because I've been having a little finger foods and stuff like that. So it got a few smudges on it. But anyway, that's not what it's all about. It's all about celebrating these new lives and these dolls. So I'm so excited about them, and I would like for you all to get acquainted with them. And Jennifer, I would like for you to see them because I know you expressed some interest in them. And I think they are just as excited to be here in the world, in the physical as well as the spiritual. So y'all say hello. But anyway, I want to get a opportunity to show them to you. The red ones went to New Orleans. They went to New Orleans with me. You all remember the voodoo session. So they got a chance to go, and they also got a chance to go into St. Louis Cemetery, where Marie Laveau is supposedly supposed to be. So I would like to acquaint you with the other guys first. They didn't go. And I want to show them to you. For some reason, my aunt, you know, she has a couple of my dolls. And I want to tell y'all what happened. Now, we talked about the fact that she lives in this complex. And it's a flat. And it has 4 families in it. And she was having trouble with a fellow witch. So she finally got her out. Okay. We talked about she got her out. This is what she did with the doll. Okay. How she did that with the doll. Y'all got to talk to her. Okay. Because the purposes of each doll, they have a purpose, but what you do with the doll is up to you. Okay. Now, she had 3 more families. No, it was 2 more families left. My aunt is very selfish. And anyway, I think part of some of the reasons is because it's kind of hard for her to live with neighbors because a lot of them, you know, are afraid of her. They call her the voodoo lady. And different things and stuff because you can see that she is slightly different. I mean, it's just like bloom like that, you know. It's out there. We already talked about how she looks and stuff like that, so we won't have to go back into that. And she does things. She does rituals, I think, on the outside of her house and in the inside of her house. And a lot of people get afraid of her. She even told me that there's this one guy, but he stopped because she had to do something, kind of get him off her back a little bit. He would walk by and throw eggs and stuff like that at her portion of the flat and accuse her of doing some kind of a bone voodoo work on him and stuff. And she swears she do not know what he's talking about, but he does her like that all the time. But now he doesn't do it and stuff like that because she said she had to do something to get him away from her. But now he's afraid to even come in that direction and stuff. So, you know, anyway, so she has 2 of my dolls. I think we spoke about how the dolls look and how, you know, what particular function she asked me to create it for, you know, but I didn't create it for the function she's used it for. But anyway, there was 2 other families left, 1 guy, and then it was a lady with 3 small children, and she's finally got her wish, okay? Because the guy that was down on the end where the other witch was, burned his apartment up Wednesday. He burned his apartment up so bad that there's nothing they can do with that. So she got him out. The lady with the young children next door, she has to leave because of smoke inhalation damage. And her children, they cannot stay in there. One has asthma. And when the back bedroom is burned, she's got to leave, okay? So now, but she's there for right now, but she's eventually going to have to leave. My aunt is stuck there with no gas, so she won't be able to warm her apartment. She won't be able to take a hot shower. She won't be able to cook. Kind of show you how magic works. You know, we already talked about we can ask for certain things and quite not get them on the terms we want them in the condition. So she has been affected too. I've tried to tell her you have been affected too, but she's not listening right now. But anyway, she says she's going to turn the doll on the man who did it because she's very angry with him. So that ought to be interesting what's going to happen with that. So caution you all with the dolls. You know, some of you expressed interest in dolls. I caution you to make sure that you treat them the way you would want to be treated. Please do not abuse these little fellas. And we'll come back on you. Okay, but for some reason that same month, I said all of that to say this, and let me hang on a minute. I said all of this to say this. For some reason that same aunt, who has done a little manner of misbehavior, she's very frightened of these dolls for some reason. And there's nothing to be frightened about the dolls about, but it's something about them she's frightened of. For one thing, she says she doesn't like the fact that they have a bone on them. Okay, now here's one. Can I give you an idea of what it looks like? Oops. Okay. Okay. Now these didn't go to New Orleans. Okay, here's another one. I call them little warriors. Okay. I'm going to go one by one. It's a lot of them, but each one, I call them little, I call them voodoo babies, charm dolls, because they're real small. Everybody don't want the large dolls, you know, because there's some people may want to carry them around in a small bag or mojo, or just put it up or hide it in a small place. So they're very small. That's why I call them charm dolls. And here, Jennifer, I wanted to show you a Yemaya doll, because I know you expressed interest in Yemaya, but she has the seashells and the different charms like fish, because Yemaya is the goddess of the water. So, and she's signed right there on the back. Okay. Now, these went to New Orleans right here.